Hello everyone, this is Kino Darkblaze and this is the Xur location and inventory review for the date of November 18th to the date of November 22nd. So first things first, Xur is gonna be located in the Winding Cove of EDZ. Let's see what Xur has brought this week. So the first exotic weapon is gonna be the Queen Breaker. It's a linear fusion rifle. It has two firing modes, the marksman sight, which is a longer firing mode, and the combat sight, which has lower zoom and is used for shorter distance. So there are a lot of linear fusion rifles better than this one. You can definitely skip this one because this is one of the worst one out there. You can just use something like the Taipan or the Cataclysmic if you have the Cataclysmic, or if you're just free to play, you can definitely just get by with the Taipan. So let's move on to the next exotic. It's gonna be the leg armor for the Hunter class. It's the Lucky Pants, hand cannon ready faster and gain increased accuracy and bonus damage. So it has 64 overall stats with a bit of recovery spike and a bit of all-rounded spike, shall I say. So this is an okay exotic leg armor because it increases the hand cannon, what do you call it, the hand cannon accuracy and damage. So it's kind of like the Icarus grip with an exotic. So yeah, if you do like playing with hand cannons and you're a hunter class, definitely do pick this one up. But the overall stats are not that spiky, so you can definitely skip this one out as well. Let's move on to the next exotic armor piece. It's gonna be the helmet for the Titan class. It is an insurmountable skull fort, so arc melee kills grant health and melee energy. 61 overall stat with a lot of mobility and intellect spike. Not that important for Titans because you would ideally want something like the resilience with a lot of strength as well, but well, it's what it is. This is an average roll. If you do not have one of it, you can definitely pick this one up. But if you have something better, this is definitely a skip for a lot of people. So yeah, kills with arc melee abilities trigger health regeneration and restore melee energy. Let's move on to the next exotic. It's gonna be the chest armor for the warlocks. It's the chromatic fire. Precision final blows from non-elemental kinetic weapon creates an explosion in the element of your subclass. So it's kind of like a firefly, but for every subclass you're using. So 59 overall stat. Not a big spike on any of it. And 59 overall stat is a bit on the low side, so this is definitely going to be a skip for me. Let's move on to the next page and the two exotic weapons, the Hawkmoon and the DMT. The Hawkmoon, it has snapshot, roll on this one. Corkscrew rifling is a good one, but alloy magazine and snapshot, not that bad, not that good. I would want something like the Eye of the Storm or opening shot. But there are people who actually like snapshots, and it is kind of fun to use. So if you do not have a Hawkmoon and you're dying to try out a Hawkmoon, definitely you can try this one out. Let's move on to the next exotic weapon. It's gonna be the Dead Man's Tale. It's a scout rifle and it has snapshots as well. Wow, two snapshot from Xur this week. Arrowhead break, kind of an average roll. Light mag, another average roll, and snapshot. The DMT is kind of a hipfire weapon, so you do not actually need a snapshot, and if you're aiming the DMT, you're doing something wrong. And you'd ideally want something like the Vorpal with a ricochet round, or even something like Eye of the Storm. with accurized round as well, but well, it's what it is. And if you're desperate for a DMT, then definitely you can try this one out. But I would actually wait for another better role. He's gonna bring these out every week, so yeah, I can definitely skip on this one. Let's move on to the legendary weapons for this week. The first one is gonna be the Chrysler Mellow. It's an auto rifle. It has dynamic sway reduction and demolitionist. It's definitely more of a PvE focused perks. It does have corkscrew rifling and steady rounds. Tactical mag. Tactical mag is better for PvE, and it is range masterwork as well. So you can definitely pair this up with a grenade build, and definitely the demo is gonna work. And auto rifles did get a bit of buff, so if you do not have this specific auto rifle and you want to try it out, you can definitely pick this up and try it. Let's move on to the next legendary weapon. It's gonna be the Cold Denial. It's a pulse rifle with threat detector and sympathetic arsenal. Threat detector is a good PvP role, increases reload speed, stability, and handling when enemies are in close proximity. You can use this for PvP as well. Yeah, with sympathetic arsenal. This you can definitely use this in PvP, but there are better roles for PvP. With light mag and extended mag is kind of useless except for PvE areas. So yeah, extended barrel and arrowhead break. This is definitely an average role, and you can definitely try this one out if you want to try it out. If not, you can definitely skip it. Let's move on to the next weapon for today. It's gonna be the Great Skipper Pulse Rifle. Sideways and Frenzy. The Grid Skipper is actually a really good pulse rifle. It does have range masterwork with flayed mag and armor piercing rounds, fluted barrel, small bow. This is definitely a good one. And slideways. So when you slide, you're gonna get the reload off. So it's like you're gonna get the reload when you slide. Yeah, this is definitely a good PvP perk. And Frenzy is also a good perk as well. So this is actually a good pulse rifle. So if you do not have this Grid Skipper pulse rifle, definitely pick this one up. This is a rapid fire frame, so it's gonna shoot super quick. And yeah, definitely pick this one up if you do not have a good Grid Skipper. Let's move on to the next legendary weapon. It's gonna be the 7th Seraph CQC-12 shotgun. The 7th Seraph is a really good shotgun. There are a lot of people using this, and it does have quick draw. So basically you can take your shotgun out faster than enemies and kill them before they shoot you dead. So yeah, it does have corkscrew rifling as well. It increases range. So steady rounds and appended mag. Yeah, it is an okay role with the reload masterwork. I would like something like a range or something about stability. So yeah, this is a solid choice for a lot of people. Definitely, if you do not have a 7th Seraph shotgun, you definitely need to pick this up. Let's move on to the next legendary weapon. It's gonna be the Ikelos sniper rifle. It's a rapid fire frame sniper rifle, so it does have feeding frenzy and disruption break. It's kind of an average role, not that good and not that bad as well. Disruption break, by removing this shield, you're gonna get more damage from this weapon. It's a solar weapon, so you only get kinetic. So yeah, it's an average weapon. And feeding frenzy, if you want something for PvP, you're gonna ideally need something like a snapshot because of the aiming time. You're definitely gonna need snapshot. This does not have it. And for PvP, I would ask for something like a firing line. But well, if you do not have an Ikelos and you want to try it out, definitely pick this one up. Let's move on to the next legendary weapon. It's gonna be the Code Duello rocket launcher or solar rocket launcher, and it does have auto loading and unrelenting. Wow, auto loading with impact casing as well. Definitely pick this one up because this has an impact casing, and that is really good for rocket launchers. Auto loading is also really good, whereas unrelenting Rapidly defeating targets give you regeneration. So champions and guardians count as more than one kill, and you're gonna get a lot of kills with the rocket launchers because they are powerful. So definitely a really good rocket launcher, above average rocket launcher. I would definitely pick this one up if you are a new player and if you want some good rocket launchers. What did it have for masterwork? It's a velocity masterwork, so it's an okay one. So definitely pick this one up. This is gonna be the highlight for this week. Let's move on to the next legendary weapon. It's gonna be the Stars in Shadow Pulse Rifle. Stars in Shadow Pulse Rifle is a high impact frame, so it's gonna shoot slowly, but it does more damage. So it does have two perk pools. So Flayed Magwell, a good one. Looted Barrels, Full Bore, definitely good ones. Outlaw and Grave Robber, definitely some good ones out there. Thresh, Dragonfly. This is kind of a PvP and PvE mixed roles because you want something like Grave Robber with Thresh for PvP, and Dragonfly could work on PvP as well. Whereas the Outlaw trait is mostly used in PvE. So yeah, definitely a good one with Stability Masterwork. You would ideally want a range, but well, what can you do? It's a good one. Definitely pick this one up if you do not have it. So yeah. And let's move on to the armor pieces. Xur is kind of bugged this week, I think, because he's brought two armor sets, the Elect Sentry set and the Pathfinder set. So let's start with the Elect Sentry set for the Warlock. 64 overall stat on the Gauntlet. That is a really good armor set. 23 recovery and 20 intellect. This is one of the best spiked and an overall stat ones. So definitely pick this one up if you are a new player, because this is one of the best armor set he's selling. In fact, I'm gonna pick this one up myself. So yeah, definitely pick this one up if you are a new player. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the chest armor Elite Sentry Robes. 65 overall stat, a high overall stat, but a lot went into mobility, and discipline is a good one, but there's too much mobility for my liking. So if you are a new player and do not have any good chest armor, definitely you can pick this up. If not, if you are someone who have played for a few months, you can definitely skip this one. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the helmet, the Elite Sentry Hood. 57 overall stat with a huge spike in recovery and discipline. If you put something like the 10 recovery on this one, it's gonna have about 35 recovery, and if you masterwork it, it's gonna get something like 35, 37 recovery just from one helmet. So yeah, definitely pick this one up if you are a new player. Although the overall stat is a bit low, you can use something like the armor picker to mix and match the armors with a lot of better armors. So if you need a lot of recovery, you can definitely put this one in there. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the leg armor, the Elite Sentry Boots. It's a 63 overall stat. It does have resilience and strength. Although warlocks do not use strength except for the arc build where you go sliding and do the uppercut and lightning falls. So yeah, if you like using that specific build, you can definitely pick this one up. It does have a lot of resilience spike, which is really good for PvE. So if you are a new player and do not have a good boots, you can definitely pick this one up. Let's move on to the next set. It's gonna be the Pathfinder set, and it's the Gauntlet. Let's start from the Gauntlet. It's 56 overall stat, but a huge intellect spike. It's similar to the helmet of before, like the recovery. This is gonna be the intellect spike one. So if you are building a intellect build, just spamming supers and that kind of stuff, you can definitely invest into this. And yeah, this is gonna be an okay roll. Although the 56 is a bit too low for my liking, this is actually a good one. So let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the Pathfinder robe, the chest armor. 53 overall stat and not that spiky. This is definitely a skip. If you are a new player, do not get this one, because this is just gonna be a waste of your legendary shards. And if you wanna do something like change the cosmetic, you can definitely pick this one up. But yeah, as for the stat value, this is definitely the worst one out there. So definitely skip this one. Only pick it up if you want the Pathfinder set, the skins for the Pathfinder robe. So let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the Pathfinder helmet. Another 53 roll and not that spiky as well. This is similar to the one before. Just pick this one up if you want the skin for this one. Although the skin kind of looks cool. It's like the helmet from the Star Wars. Well, I'm not gonna say too much about that, but let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the leg armor piece. 47. Wow, that's the lowest I've ever seen. Yeah, that's actually one of the lowest ones. 47 with almost zero spike on anything. So definitely do not get these ones. The only highlight is gonna be the gauntlet, and do not pick this one up. The chest armor, the helmet, and the leg armor, definitely skip those because these are the worst ones out there. Only pick this up if you are gonna be using them for the skins. So that's gonna be it for the warlocks. Let's move on to the titans. Okay, so now we're back with the titans, and let's see what Xur has for the titans this week. So there's gonna be probably gonna be the 2 set of armor pieces for titans as well. Yep, there they are. So it's the Pathfinder and the Elect Sentry set. So let's start with the first one. It's gonna be the gauntlet for the Elect Sentry set. 61 overall stat, a really good overall stat, and a lot of spike on resilience, and a quite good distributed stat overall for recovery, discipline, and intellect. So if you are a new player and do not have a good gauntlet, definitely you can pick this one up because this is actually a really good piece. So yeah, if you are a new player, definitely you can pick this one up. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the Elix Sentry Plate. It's the chest piece, and 62 overall stat. Again, a really good overall stat, but not a lot of resilience, and Titans really do want their resilience. But it does have a bit of recovery, intellect, and strength. So if you're focusing mainly on the strength and intellect with a bit of recovery, and if you want it for a PvP build, you can definitely pick this one up, and you can make up for the resilience somewhere else. So if you want to make some builds out of it, you can definitely try this one out. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the headpiece. 58 overall stat, not a lot of resilience. I think that's the minimum amount of resilience you can get on an armor piece, and a bit of spike on mobility, recovery, discipline, and strength. The only one I would actually use is the strength one, so this is definitely gonna be a skip for a lot of people. And if you are a new player, I would ideally want you to skip this because yeah, not that good, because you really want resilience on Titans. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the leg armor for Elix Sentry, and 63 overall stat. Again, a really good overall stat with a bit of spike on resilience, intellect, and strength. This is actually a really good one because it does have that resilience and strength spike which you actually need for the Titans. And if you put something like the resilience mod, you're gonna get around 27. So yeah, overall good armor piece. So if you're a new player, definitely pick this one up. Let's move on to the next armor set, the Pathfinder set. It's gonna be the Pathfinder Gauntlet. 52 overall stat. This is definitely gonna be a skip, although it does have a bit of discipline. But 52 is just really too low. Do not get anything below 57, I would say. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be a skip. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the chest piece, and 56. It does have resilience and strength spike, but yeah, 56 is a little bit just too low for my liking. although it does look really good. Yeah, it does have a really good ornament. So if you want to buy this for the looks, you can definitely pick this one up. But if it's for the stat, this is definitely going to be a skip. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's going to be the helmet. 55, again, a bit too low. So mobility, recovery, and intellect spike. Not the spikes you want. So this is definitely another skip for me. So let's move on to the next and final armor piece for the Titans. 58 with, wow, resilience and strength. This is kind of a good one because for a strength build, for melee builds, Titan really do want their strength. And 19 resilience is actually a really good one as well. So I'm gonna pick this one up because I think I can make it work with a bit of other armor pieces. So yeah, only get this if you want to make some specific builds about like the Titan melee builds, which is kind of the best builds out there. So yeah, definitely if you want to build new stuff, you can definitely pick this one up. And that's gonna be it for the Titans. Let's move on to the Hunters, the last class for today. Okay, so now we're back with the Hunters. Let's see what Xur has for the Hunters this week. And it's the same one for Hunters as well, probably. Yeah, 2 armor sets. Let's start with the first one. It's gonna be the Elite Sentry Gauntlet. 59 overall stat with mobility, resilience, and discipline spike. This is actually a good one, although a bit of lower side on the overall stat. So you can definitely make some builds out of this, but you would have to invest a lot. So think about that when you buy this and put this into your build. So let's move on to the next armor piece. It's going to be the chest armor. 57 with mobility, discipline, and a bit of strength. Although the mobility and discipline looks really juicy, the 57 overall stat is kind of a bummer for me. So this is probably going to be a skip for me. But if you can make it work, definitely go for it. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's going to be the helmet with 64 overall stat. A bit on the low side on the mobility and resilience, but the recovery and intellect are kind of good. But if you use something like the Font of Wisdom, this kind of intellect is mostly gone to waste. So yeah, definitely pick this one up if you are a new player. And yeah, you can make certain builds out of this, recovery and intellect. More of a PvP focused build because you really want something like recovery and intellect and kind of use another armor piece for the mobility. So yeah, let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the leg armor. 55 overall stat with a huge intellect spike as well, but that's just too much lower. It's on the lower version of the overall stat, so I'm gonna skip on this one. But that intellect kind of looks really fun. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be a skip for me, and new players should probably skip this one as well. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's the Pathfinder Gauntlet, 54 overall stat. That is just too low for my liking. So this is gonna be a skip. Mobility and discipline spike though. Yeah, but still gonna be a skip. Let's move on to the next armor set. It's gonna be the chest armor, 54 with no spike at all. This is one of the worst ones out there. So do not pick this one up. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the helmet with 52 overall stat with a bit of mobility spike. This is another one of those that has a really low overall stat, but the mobility does look good. Yeah, but yeah, this is definitely gonna be a skip. Do not get this one, new players. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's move on to the next armor piece. It's gonna be the leg armor. 53 again, bit on the low side. This is gonna be another skip with no spikes at all. So that's gonna be it for all the classes. And so yeah, so this is gonna be here until the 22nd of November. Definitely come and pick whatever you need from him. And if you guys like this video, please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. And So yeah, if you guys really liked it, you can definitely like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.